Hi, everybody. Joe Cioffi here. Weather in 5 days in 5 minutes, brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York, and Southwest Suffolk County on Long Island, serving the entire New York, New Jersey, Connecticut tri state area. They're getting ready for spring with mulch and topsoil and sand, but they still got salt, obviously. And who knows? I think you might need it on Monday, at least for areas away from the coast and maybe even some areas on the coast. So get over to Omni. They're getting ready. 631-756-1125 for the best prices in town. OmniTrueValue.com is the website. So let's go over a couple of things with regards to this system for Monday night into Tuesday morning. The amount of snow we're talking about, and in a winter where you haven't gotten much, the folks that are on Long Island, for example, back to New York City, in New Jersey, south of Route 78, but north of Route 195, you're on the southern edge of this, and this is the part of the area that's probably the most at risk for either being higher or lower, and that's going to depend on just enough cold air wedging in. So for now, it's in that zone basically a coating to an inch or two. You start to go just north and west of New York City into northwest New Jersey, into the Hudson Valley, and up into Connecticut and into southeastern New England, and even into interior central New England. That's where you're going to see something more substantial on the order of 2, 3, 4, maybe even some 5 and 6 inch amounts or higher the further north you go. So again, it's that area down right along the immediate coast where the forecast can go in either direction, and we still have plenty of time to adjust those numbers up or down. I think the inland numbers are going to stay about the same. If you're south of Route 195 in southern New Jersey, these ones you see down here in Maryland and southern New Jersey and Delaware, that's left over from a system that is moving out this evening. So this area is going to get all rain out of this. It's going to be the further north you go, that's where you're going to start to get into the white stuff. Now, it's early. There's nothing up as far as advisories or any kind of watches or anything like that. We've got the first winter weather advisories up for central and northern Wisconsin. There'll probably be more to go before that's all said and done. And of course, the storm is still raging out in the west. We've got blizzard warnings in the Sierra Nevadas, also in the mountains of Southern California. We've got winter storm warnings and a few leftover blizzard warnings as that area starts to see things wind down. New winter storm warnings up for Northwest California and points northward. Just on it goes in the western part of the United States. This is the kind of winter it's been. The eastern half of the United States has really not seen much of a winter, and the west has been pounded very, very hard. Here's a look at the satellite loop this evening. We've got clouds, these two systems, the one in the north that went through early this afternoon, the one in the south that's going offshore now. That's all going to go out, and we'll see improving weather conditions later tonight, and a pretty nice Sunday with temperatures bouncing higher in eastern Pennsylvania to southern New England, upper 40s and low 50s. But all this western energy is going to start moving eastward before too long. Here's what it looks like on the radar. A little bit of precip left over in southeast New England. The stuff that's down to the south has moved offshore, beginning to see some moisture build across Texas and Oklahoma and in through Arkansas and points east through Tennessee and North Carolina. Not really a whole lot here. And then in the southwest, you see what's still going on in California. We should also mention been very big rains in Southern California on the order of 3, 4, 5 inches, and here's new moisture that's coming in to the Pacific Northwest. Now, WPC, this is the updated forecast. I like to use the 50% line as a good indicator of where the 2-inch line is going to be, and you see it's just round where or just north of Route 78. Maybe somewhere between Route 78 and Route 80, crosses northern areas of New York City, and then touches the north shore of Long Island. You go just a little bit further to the north, and you start getting into numbers of 80% probability of a higher or of at least 2, and with the probability of at least 4. If you go from say, Route 84 or just south of Route 84 northward, here's where we have a 50% higher probability of at least 4, and then you start to get to 80 to 90% up in the northern Catskills, and certainly in the Adirondacks, and also in New England, in Vermont, New Hampshire, western Massachusetts, and down into Connecticut. Just want to point out on the long range, this is for a system for the end of next week. And that one, WPC on their long range, has a 10 to 30% chance down through interior southern New Jersey, Maryland, north and west of Washington, D.C., northwestern Virginia and West Virginia, going all the way east up into northern New England. And the dark green on this early forecast is the 30 to 50% probability. When you see it in the long range, it's kind of a hint that you should pay attention that maybe something may wind up happening there. And with regards to total liquid precip this week, over the next 7 days, we're looking at 1.5 inches or more of liquid precip. Now, this is from 3 systems combined for New England, down back to about New York City and coastal New Jersey. Also, on the west side of the Appalachians, down into the deep south, where we've got a large area of several inches being indicated from eastern Arkansas, northeast into Tennessee, and into North Georgia. And of course, the precip continues to pile on in the west. So here's the situation. We have what we would call a low pressure map. There's no big strong highs here. The pressures are all very low. You have a 987 low in northern Kansas. That's going to move. It's going to intensify and then reach its peak intensity early Monday morning and then begin to weaken rapidly. We have a cold high that starts to build in southeastern Canada. You see it there. And that's going to allow for some colder air to bleed downward, particularly aloft. And what's going to happen is that this primary low is going to weaken rapidly, and a secondary low is going to develop probably somewhere off the Delaware, New Jersey coast. So the snow, the southern flank of that snow, this is 1 a.m. Tuesday, is going to really depend on that high that's sitting over eastern New Brunswick, trying to wedge down between the dying primary low and the dying secondary low. And if this were a typical winter, I guess the emotions wouldn't be so high. There are a lot of crazy people out there who have gone nuts over the fact that they haven't seen any snow, particularly along the coastal plain. Well, that's just the way it worked out this winter. So if we get just the models have been kind of indicating that the atmosphere may be just a little bit colder, so that's very important for the coast. Again, I think the inland areas are probably going to stay mostly frozen, and then that moves out to the northeast, will dry out. There's no real cold air behind this, so we've got to wait for another cold front that's going to come through on Thursday with some showers. There is a colder high behind that and a new storm that's going to come out of the southwest, and models are all over the place with this because they can't figure out how strong that system is going to be and how progressive it's going to be. If it's like the GFS, it would probably mean an inland low with big snows well up to the north and west and mostly rain. However, the flatter looking European, for example, and the flatter looking Canadian models, which take a low much further to the south and east, would open the door perhaps with the possibility of another round of wintry precipitation at the end of next week. And we've got plenty of time to talk about this tomorrow on the Joe and Joe Weather Show, which will be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Normally it's at 11 a.m., but tomorrow it's going to be at 7 p.m. Eastern Time. Weather in 5 brought to you by Omni True Value Hardware at 1226 North Wellwood Avenue in West Babylon, New York. 631-756-1125 is the phone number. The website, omnitruevalue.com. Hope you're having a great weekend, and we'll see you tomorrow night at 7 p.m. Eastern.